Now, a man dubbed Britain's kindest plumber made the front page of newspapers and graced the studios of almost every media outlet with his pledges to repair boilers for free and help those in need. James Anderson, you can see there. James Anderson's business, emotional social media posts earned him and his company, DEFA CIC, an army of fans and more than £2 million in donations. The social enterprise, DEFA, was set up in Burnley in 2017, describes itself as providing free or heavily subsidised emergency plumbing and heating services to vulnerable people and struggling individuals. Mr. Anderson received global attention, that was in 2019, after an image showing an invoice for fixing a 91-year-old woman's boiler went viral. You can see it there, highlighted. It read, "No charge for this lady under any circumstances." The company has used its online presence to call for donations to support its work. James Anderson has won multiple awards for his work, including a Points of Light accolade from former Prime Minister Boris Johnson, that was in 2021, and a special recognition honour at the Pride of Britain Awards, that was a year later. Now, a BBC investigation has uncovered false and misleading posts on social media. Our special correspondent, Ed Thomas, has the story.
Now, you won't meet people more remarkable than the plumber James Anderson. Can we speak?
James Anderson's acts of kindness moved the nation.
His name is James Anderson. He's a plumber who couldn't stand seeing people getting cold because they didn't have enough money for boiler repairs.
And we put a shout out on social media and all the people.
We've analysed those social media accounts.
Known as Britain's kindest plumber.
He's helped over 2 million people across the country receive this special.
Uncovering misleading, false posts, allegations vulnerable people have been exploited. The most shocking was this, posted in June 2022. James Anderson and a woman, face covered with an emoji. It explains she's upset and desperate. He rushes to her in Preston, and when I got there, she had a noose ready to commit suicide. But we found her image had been used repeatedly, and in Burnley we learned the truth. Her name was Joyce, and she died 2 years before the post claimed Anderson had saved her life.
Horrible, upsetting to know of it. It's just horrible.
Steph, a carer, helped Joyce for 2 years.
None of that's true with Joyce. A noose and all that lot, all a complete lie. I think it's all a farce to try and gain more money.
This was one knock on the door I was really worried about.
Steph helped us reach out to Joyce's daughter Andrea.
Joyce's kitchen, Joyce's cardigan.
She had no idea her mother's image was used by DEFA.
I drove as fast as I could. When I got there, she had a noose ready to commit suicide.
How do you describe that post?
A lie. This complete lie.
An image of a noose with a linked fundraising appeal was also posted by DEFA.
How do you sleep at night? It's like vulnerable people like my mother is their money-making machine.
James Anderson has helped many vulnerable people with free plumbing, gas and electricity payments. But we found multiple examples of misleading posts. This one claims the woman with the hidden face died from carbon monoxide. We later learned the story was fake.
Here we are today, a free comic invasion I was doing for a gentleman who's 84 years of age.
We also found this serious safeguarding failure. A video posted on James Anderson's Facebook page.
Two lads starting to do a little bit of work now. Oh, sure, you okay? I'm just doing a little video.
We've blurred his image, but Anderson asked the elderly man if he's okay to be filmed.
Okay?
Yes.
You okay to be on this video, or do you not want to be on it?
Oh God, no.
No, okay, not a problem.
Oh God, no. But for years and without consent, this man's picture was posted dozens of times. His image was linked to fundraising appeals worth £270,000. We also tracked down Gemma.
You do not have consent for those photos to be circulated.
She was identified on Deffer's social media as a victim of domestic abuse, pictured alongside her children, and later, without evidence, branded a thief.
My photo of me and my kids has been used over and over and over and over. So you've exploited me and my kids at our most vulnerable and repeatedly on social media.
James Anderson stands by these posts, but said with hindsight he apologised for any upset caused.
I just hope and pray that anyone that knows me, that has seen this, will know that I would never do a thing like that.
We've also heard of serious safety concerns inside Deffer. Smoking, working on a boiler with the top off.
Yeah.
Do you remember that moment?
No, but I've seen the picture.
This former staff member worked alongside James Anderson for 3 years. We've agreed to protect her identity. The BBC has verified this Deffer post about a leaking boiler that can kill someone. The man working on it is smoking a cigarette. In a later post, James Anderson falsely claims the worker is a subcontractor.
No. He's worked for Deffer since Deffer started.
James Anderson denied any gas safety issues. He said the worker had permission to smoke and he was with him at all times.
Amy, you all right? Hi, Ed from BBC News.
He also agreed to answer our questions about his use of social media.
Really appreciate you speaking to us to give your side of the story.
Starting with this false story about Joyce and thoughts of suicide.
I didn't put that on.
That's from Deffer's account. Is that post true?
That post is not true, no.
The family have said that is a lie. What do you want to say to that family?
And I've just said I apologise to the family, but I will have to look further into that onto the old account.
Yes.
You okay to be on this video, or do you not want to be on it?
Oh God, no.
We also showed him the video from Facebook.
The man is clearly filmed saying no.
Right, okay. I accept that. I
Will
apologise.
you return this money?
I'll return what funding is connected to that if the people who have donated it want that money back.
And what about the fake carbon monoxide death story?
It's Deffer's post, but how it got onto Deffer's account, I don't know. That is an absolutely disgusting, misleading post, yeah. And I apologise for
Is that a lie?
That is a lie, whoever's put it on, yeah.
We wanted clarity about how much money he's raised.
We spent over £3 million.
Is £3 million correct, yes or no?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't
Okay.
And how many people he's helped.
We've helped over 2 million people. 2,150,000 to be exact.
That's exact.
That's...
Yeah, they made up figures, so they're guesstimates.
They're guesstimates. Guesstimates. Yeah, guesstimates.
But James Anderson revealed he's been a victim of a relentless online bullying campaign.
I've had nothing but 3 years now of intimidation, bullying, harassment, attacks.
James Anderson, the plumber who inspired the nation, now asking for forgiveness.
I apologise. I really do apologise. And I hope you can find it in your heart to accept that apology. And I'm really sorry. And I will make amends.
Well, Ed, who put that report together, joins us now. Morning to you. We're a little bit staggered by what we've seen and heard this morning. What was it that made you think, I'm going to look a bit more closely at this guy?
Yeah, James Anderson is a hero to so many people up and down the country, especially working class communities. And there is no doubt he has helped thousands of people. But this investigation, was just about getting to the truth. We live in a moment, a time where we see things on our phones, on social media, and we just like, we retweet, we want to believe what we're reading and what we're hearing, we want to believe these stories. And we felt getting to the truth mattered. So we worked with BBC Verify and we started analysing these posts, these social media posts, and what we found was a pattern repeating false, misleading posts. The same images being used again and again. Different details, different stories. And next we went down to Burnley and spent weeks knocking on doors, trying to find the people, the families behind these posts.
So the more you look into it, the more complicated and less plausible
it's becoming. So take us through some of the key findings.
Yeah, the more you look into it, the more questions are raised. Take the false and misleading post. You saw a couple of examples then. A lady, desperate, sad. James Anderson gets around to the house. She has a noose ready to take her own life. James Anderson saved her life. We found the truth behind that. She died 2 years earlier. A woman, face blackened out. She died from carbon monoxide. James Anderson warning the nation about this. The truth is that never happened. We also found GoFundMe accounts linked to particular periods when James Anderson's DEFRA business received £1.2 million in donations. Donations doubled year on year. We found a GoFundMe account with James Anderson's company saying donations had dropped by 80%. James Anderson admits that was misleading. And also, Charlie, we found a series of really serious safeguarding failures. A lady who was pictured on a bed, it looked like she was counting money. She's looking away from the camera, and you could see details of her name, her address, her phone number, her bank details. And the gentleman who clearly says, please, no, do not film me, his image was recycled again and again and again.
Okay, now you have been at pains to point out that there was work done for people, and it was done for nothing, as was the plan. But they often say in these investigations, follow the money. So what about the money that was given and how or if it was spent?
Yeah, James Anderson has used donations to help the most vulnerable people in our society. Free boilers, gas and electricity payments, food, other top-ups as well. He's helped children in schools. No doubt he has done good. But when we've analysed the accounts, as I was saying, 2023, he received £1.2 million in donations. By the end of that financial year, £500,000 was still unspent, and there was £700,000 spent in admin expenses. James Anderson quite rightly says, hang on, it's expensive doing this job, giving out free boilers. I've got to pay subcontractors. I've got to pay for boilers. This is a lot of money. But we also found that the company had spent money on vehicles. We were told one was an Audi, which was for James Anderson, and there was also a house bought with company cash for more than £70,000. James Anderson says, look, this is a CIC company, I'm entitled to do this, I need a company car, and the house was an investment for DEFRA, and the money raised will go back into DEFRA.
So there's money unaccounted for, there's advertising and fundraising under false pretences, there's incredible trauma to the lady we saw whose mother's image had been used. When it comes to where these faults lie, is it criminal proceedings now? What happens next?
Yeah, James Anderson would say to all this, he can account for every single penny of his money, and every single penny of his money has gone to the right causes. But as you say, there are serious questions being asked now. James Anderson was all over our media. He was on This Sofa. He was on Good Morning Britain, the One Show, Watchdog, This Morning. And now people want to know certain answers. We know that the questions are being asked by the CIC regulator. We know that the Information Commissioner is also asking serious questions about the use of people's images. And we do know that the fundraising regulator has opened an investigation into what was happening inside DEFRA.
And you're describing, I know it was in the piece you showed us a moment ago, that wall of praise from pretty much, it's a who's who of sort of British society, isn't it, in his office?
Yeah, it was phenomenal when we went to see him, and James was contrite. He admitted the misleading posts. He admitted some of the posts were untrue. He promised to get to the bottom. He said, I didn't post some of these messages. I want to find out who did from the DEFRA account. But when you're there, this wall of thanks. There was a letter from the late Queen. There was a letter from the King. There was a letter from Boris Johnson. The recognition of what this man has done to the whole country, a massive thank you and a recognition to the hope that he's given to so many people.
And this will break some people's hearts, won't it? Because we want to believe in these positive stories. And particularly at the moment, we want to click and like and donate because we want to hear something positive.
It's an extraordinary show. Thank you very much, Ed. Britain's hero plumber.